Imagine walking into your retail job expecting a normal shift, only to face a screaming woman hurling grocery bags like deadly missiles, demanding psychic readings from baristas, or faking medical emergencies to cut lines. Welcome to the nightmare world of Karens Gone Wild. We've got 49 insane real-life stories from America's stores that'll make your jaw drop and your blood boil. If you've survived a Karen apocalypse, smash that like, subscribe for more retail chaos, and drop your craziest tale in the comments. Let's commiserate. 1. A young woman entered Walmart's electronics section on Black Friday, eyes locked on the last 75-inch TV that sold out by 9 a.m. She demanded the staff magically restock it immediately. The teenage clerk explained no rain checks were available. Enraged, she wound up her fist, screaming that she knew the district manager's wife personally. Customers gasped as security intervened just in time. The clerk, shaking, recounted how her punch nearly landed. Shoppers whispered in disbelief at her audacity. The manager banned her, but she stormed out, vowing revenge. Everyone felt relieved yet stunned by the chaos over a TV. 2. An old woman stormed Target's toy aisle, hoarding every limited edition Barbie like a treasure. When another mom reached for one, she flung boxes like ninja stars. The mom dodged but got a busted lip. Blood dripped as screams echoed. The old woman yelled about her rights. Security called the cops amid flying toys. Both women ended up banned for life from the store. Witnesses laughed nervously at the absurdity. The injured mom's family consoled her while police separated them. Kids watched wide-eyed. The chaos left shelves in ruins and shoppers sharing stories online. 3. A family pulled up to Old Navy's returns desk at 8:55 p.m. The mother slammed down a plastic bag crammed with clothes from 1999, tags dangling like relics. She demanded full cash back because they no longer fit her grown daughter. The manager smiled and offered a 10% off coupon instead. Outraged, she whipped out her phone and called corporate on speaker, blasting complaints store-wide. Employees hid grins while customers shifted uncomfortably. The call dragged on with hold music echoing. Finally disconnected, she snatched the bag and marched out. The family trailed silently. Staff erupted in laughter once she vanished. 4. A middle-aged aunt stormed CVS's pharmacy counter after harassing staff by phone for 3 months over the new insulin law. On her 92nd day, she unleashed a tirade in person, reducing the pharmacist to tears with insults. The pharmacist sobbed behind the counter. Colleagues stepped in as customers murmured awkwardly. Management slapped a district-wide ban on her. She flipped out harder, toppling pill bottles everywhere. Security dragged her kicking and screaming. The pharmacist wiped her eyes, supported by hugs. Patrons clapped quietly. The ban restored calm, but the tale became legendary among workers. 5. A teenage sister at Kroger's checkout lost it when the cashier bagged too slowly. She hurled her bulging, reusable grocery bag straight at the cashier's face. It smacked with a thud, spilling contents. The cashier yelped in shock. Her toddler sibling filmed the whole mess vertically on a phone, giggling innocently. Shoppers froze as she bellowed about job duties. The manager rushed over, dialing cops. Yet the sister doubled down, ranting wildly. Police arrived to chaos. The cashier, bruised but defiant, filed a report. Witnesses shared clips online. The family left humiliated, video going viral overnight. 6. An old uncle wandered into Home Depot's flooring desk with a peculiar demand. He flatly refused any black men for his hardwood installation, insisting on white guys only. The black manager, Dwayne, overheard and approached smoothly. He declared himself the sole installer that day. The uncle's jaw dropped, words failing him. Employees bit lips to stifle chuckles. Customers exchanged wide-eyed glances. Dwayne stood tall, arms crossed. The uncle turned beet red and shuffled out empty-handed. The team high-fived Dwayne later. Shoppers whispered praise. The irony left everyone buzzing with amusement. 7. A young grandmother burst into Party City just before close, fixated on $3 mini buckets, sans receipt. She erupted in a full-blown tantrum, toppling 3 displays in fury. Her grandchild peed right in the Barbie aisle amid the uproar. Staff gawked in horror. She grabbed the buckets and dashed for the exit. Employees yelled but couldn't catch her. The kid wailed, trailing behind. Managers snapped her photo for a ban. Cleanup crew grumbled through the mess. Customers retold the pee and flea saga with belly laughs. 8. A businessman accompanied his wife to Macy's on Christmas Eve. She accused the 17-year-old gift wrapper of rough handling and insults. In a rage, she hurled perfume bottles across the floor. She demanded the teen's immediate firing. The teen stood frozen, denying everything. Security reviewed footage, exposing her as the thrower. Customers booed her denial. Management apologized profusely to the teen. She stormed off, red-faced. The husband dragged her away. Staff comforted the shaken wrapper. The video twist had everyone howling in disbelief. 9. An elderly neighbor couple rolled up to Best Buy's delivery bay for their new fridge. The wife rejected it outright because it wasn't pre-cooled to precisely 37 degrees in the truck. She screamed for the driver's job and a free replacement within the hour. The driver scratched his head, explaining logistics. The husband nodded along furiously. Staff offered compromises, but she waved them off. They drove away appliance-less. Employees cracked up later at the thermometer obsession. Delivery guys shared the story over breaks. 10. A college-aged cousin lounged at Barnes & Noble's cafe, sipping coffee. She demanded the barista palm-read her future because the brew tasted like bad omens. She withheld payment until a glowing lottery prediction. The barista, baffled, improvised a silly fortune. Patrons eavesdropped with smirks. Management hovered nervously. She finally paid after the fake reading promised riches. The barista exhaled in relief. Friends texted her the absurdity. The cafe buzzed with psychic request jokes. 11. A teenage boy accompanied his mom to Kohl's jewelry counter for necklace shopping. She tried on every single piece in the case, twirling dramatically. Suddenly, she accused the clerk of sneaking in fakes during try-ons. She insisted on a lie detector test for the poor employee right then. The clerk laughed nervously, denying it. Customers gathered, popping popcorn mentally. Management declined the polygraph idea flat out. The mom huffed, leaving jewels scattered. The boy blushed crimson. Staff retold the spy thriller with giggles. 12. An old father in Publix's produce aisle methodically ripped open every onion bag, hunting the flawless specimen. When the worker intervened politely, he exploded that they plotted to poison his allergic daughter. Onions tumbled everywhere as he gestured wildly. Shoppers sidestepped the rolling veggies. The worker called backup calmly. He grabbed a bag and bolted, yelling threats. Cleanup took ages. Customers chuckled at the conspiracy nut. The daughter, waiting outside, rolled her eyes skyward. 13. A young couple hit Teach Max's checkout when the employee sprang a sudden nosebleed mid-scan. Blood trickled as she pinched her nose. The girlfriend scolded her viciously for skipping the thank you phrase first. The boyfriend shifted awkwardly. Management rushed tissues and help. The employee apologized through sniffles. The couple paid and fled. Staff rallied around her with ice packs. Shoppers whispered about the heartless timing. The nosebleed became a badge of retail heroism. 14. An elderly uncle pounded the local boutique's glass door with keys post-closing for a solid 15 minutes. He begged entry for one tiny item. The owner inside shook her head firmly. He branded her racist in a bellow. Neighbors peeked from windows, sipping tea. She called cops discreetly. He finally trudged off muttering. The owner unlocked for laughs with staff. His persistence turned into urban legend fodder. 15. A college girl at Nike outlet chucked 3 shoe pairs at the worker's noggin over absent half sizes. Shoes bounced wildly. She then commandeered him as her unpaid stylist for 45 grueling minutes. He suggested outfits wearily. She critiqued harshly, before ditching everything and storming out. Colleagues patted his back. Customers avoided the flying footwear zone. The ordeal sparked store-wide sympathy memes. 16. A middle-aged yoga aunt at Whole Foods Organic Nook demanded a booming store announcement. She claimed gluten-free bread mislabeled as vegan wrecked her spiritual balance. She plopped into lotus pose, blocking the aisle completely. Shoppers hopped over her. Management obliged with a PA apology. She rose zen-like and sauntered off. Staff mimicked her pose in breaks. Customers snapped sneaky pics for social hilarity. 17. A handyman brother returned to Home Depot's tool rental with a power washer case bulging oddly. Inside lurked spaghetti and ravioli cans instead of the tool. He pushed for a refund on his scam item. The clerk unpacked it, sauce dripping. He stammered excuses. Security loomed large. He bolted sans cash. Employees dubbed it the Italian job flop. Cleanup involved mops and mockery. 18. Two sibling shoppers at Costco's food court eyed the final chicken bake sample greedily. They erupted into screams, nearly trading blows. One toppled the whole sample table in the scuffle. Bites scattered like confetti. Staff dove in to separate them, both got booted permanently. Witnesses filmed the food fight frenzy. The siblings left hangry and humiliated. 19. A veteran grandmother at Target's guest services waived online receipts for Christmas ornaments. She demanded in-store price matching now cheaper. The employee cited policy gently. She whipped out her phone, recording him while captioning live about veteran hatred. Management upheld rules. She posted the clip anyway. Online commenters roasted her logic. Staff shrugged at the viral fail. 20. A professional woman in Walgreens drive-thru hit a prescription snag. She refused to loop around, trapping the lane. Windows up, she shrieked about hostage situations for 20 minutes. Horns blared from backed-up cars. Staff pleaded through speakers. Police arrived to defuse. She peeled out empty-handed. Drivers cheered her departure. The tale fueled drive-thru dread stories. 21. A suburban housewife sneaked through Walmart's seasonal aisle with a devious grin. She stashed 3 oozing melted ice cream containers and a foul-smelling rancid chicken pack under a tower of bath towels. Lazy avoidance at its finest. An eagle-eyed employee spotted the dripping mess later. The stench hit like a wave. She denied everything when confronted by the manager. Customers gagged and giggled. The housewife played innocent, batting lashes. Staff donned gloves for cleanup. Her family waited obliviously at checkout. The incident sparked store-wide towel inspections. Everyone marveled at her sneaky sabotage. 22. A privileged socialite at Sephora flagged down the manager in a huff. The employee had looked at her funny while suggesting foundation shades. She burst into fake sobs, wailing about racial profiling despite being glaringly white. The employee blinked in confusion. Shoppers paused mid-swatch. Management apologized to diffuse. She milked the drama for sympathy. Colleagues exchanged eye rolls. Customers whispered snickers. She left with free samples clutched. The employee vented in the break room. Online reviews praised her acting chops ironically. 23. An eccentric old woman at PetSmart's aquarium scooped up a goldfish in a bowl. 10 minutes later, she marched back demanding a refund. The fish swam too sluggishly for her sacred feng shui setup. She threatened to flush it down the store toilet dramatically. The clerk stared wide-eyed. Customers overheard and chuckled. She waved the bowl menacingly. Management refunded to avoid a scene. The fish perked up post-return. Staff joked about diva pets on her family's side from the car. 24. A clumsy tech-savvy aunt hauled her fried smartwatch to Best Buy's Geek Squad. She claimed a factory flaw after accidentally microwaving it. Melted bits dangled. She insisted the tech fix it on the spot while she live-streamed his supposed incompetence. The tech poked it hopelessly. Viewers flooded comments with laughs. She narrated dramatically. Colleagues peeked over shoulders. He declared it toast politely. She stormed off midstream. The video exploded with memes. 25. A frugal teenage girl at Dollar Tree snatched a paper plate pack and hurled it across the aisle. It contained only 49 instead of 50 promised. Plates scattered like frisbees. She ordered the cashier to count every single plate in the entire store immediately. The cashier sighed and complied stack by stack. Customers lined up impatiently. She tapped her foot triumphantly, hours ticked by absurdly. Management intervened finally. She left empty-handed but satisfied. Staff recounted the tally terror 26. A high-maintenance young professional at Target's inner Starbucks rattled off a drink order with 17 wild modifications. Extra pumps, swaps, and foams galore. When served, she screeched it wasn't extra hot enough. Full meltdown ensued with stomps. She demanded a remake while filming for TikTok fame. The barista remixed under glare. Followers commented fire emojis. Customers sipped awkwardly. She posted the clip instantly. Staff dubbed her the Mod Monster. 27. A picky decorator uncle at Home Depot's paint counter lugged back a 5-gallon custom mixed bucket. The shade mismatched his living room lighting versus the swatch. He demanded a complete remix from scratch. The clerk stirred anew patiently. Paint fumes filled the air. Customers sniffed curiously. He critiqued every tint drop, finally approved after 3 tries. The uncle hauled it home smugly. Staff wiped brows exhausted. The lighting saga amused passersby. 28. An entitled car-owning grandmother wheeled into Costco's tire center boldly. She requested free tire rotations, citing thousands spent yearly. Her membership had lapsed 6 months prior. The technician verified records calmly. She exploded in denial. Workers offered renewal deals. Customers eavesdropped, smirking. She relented and paid up. Tires spun smoothly post-service. Staff shared the expired excuse laughs. 29. A creative family mom at Michael's Craft Supplies cornered an employee with demands. She wanted a custom scrapbook page, handmade, right there. Ads promised creativity inspiration, she argued. She refused any supplies until completed. The employee doodled hastily. Glitter flew everywhere. Kids watched mesmerized. She nitpicked details endlessly. Finally took it free and left. The employee dusted hands wearily. Colleagues admired the impromptu art. 30. A doting great-aunt at Walmart's photo center unleashed a 20-minute scream fest. Her grandson blinked in one school picture shot, unacceptable perfection flaw. She insisted on a full reshoot plus free family prints galore. The employee offered digital edits. She pounded the counter. Relatives calmed her down. Management caved with extras. The boy posed again awkwardly. Staff breathed relief post-rant. 31. A gamer uncle stormed Target's electronics section, hunting the last Nintendo Switch in stock. He demanded the employee drive personally to a store 45 minutes away to fetch it. "That's your job here," he barked. The employee refused politely, citing policy. Customers overheard and snickered. The uncle's face twisted in rage. He called corporate mid-aisle. Management backed the worker firmly. The uncle left empty-handed, muttering threats. Staff high-fived behind the counter. Shoppers shared the drive demand tale online. The absurdity left everyone chuckling at his entitlement. 32. An impatient young woman at Publix's deli counter eyed the ham slicer being cleaned meticulously. She insisted on fresh slices right now despite the 5-minute wait. When denied, she whipped out her phone and dialed the health department dramatically. But the slicer paused briefly amid her complaints. Employees exchanged amused glances. Customers waited hungrily. The call connected to a voicemail. She hung up fuming. The deli worker resumed slicing post-clean. She grabbed her order eventually. Colleagues joked about her emergency ham crisis. 33. A chaotic family hit Old Navy on Black Friday with arms full of 47 items. The mother attempted to cut the massive line boldly. When security approached, she flopped onto the floor, blocking everyone. Shoppers gasped and laughed. Her kids hid faces embarrassed. Guards lifted her gently. The family got escorted out amid boos. Lines cheered the removal. Management banned them swiftly. Witnesses filmed the floor protest. The video went viral instantly. Staff retold the cutter's downfall with glee. 34. There, a construction-savvy old man at Home Depot's lumberyard requested 47 custom cuts on 2x4s at 3:57 p.m. Sunday. The saw shut down at 4 sharp. He threatened an emotional distress lawsuit when refused. The clerk offered a few cuts quickly. Wood chips flew hastily, customers watched the clock drama. He argued legal jargon loudly, management diffused with coupons. He left with partial boards grumbling. Employees wound down relieved. The near-close tantrum amused weekend shoppers. 35. A lapsed member aunt at Costco's membership desk flung her expired card at the employee's face. She screamed about paying their salaries without renewal access. The employee explained rules calmly. Shoppers in line shifted uncomfortably. She demanded entry anyway. Colleagues verified expiration digitally. She relented and renewed huffing. Card scanned finally. Staff smiled through gritted teeth. Customers whispered about the salary rant. The scene boosted renewal signups oddly. 36. A pet-loving teenage girl sneaked her dog into Target's clothing fitting room discreetly. The pup peed on the carpet mid-try-on. She demanded the store cover her vet bill, claiming unsanitary floors caused it. Management inspected the fresh mess. Employees cleaned while shaking heads. She argued pet policies loudly. Customers avoided the wet spot. The store refused payment firmly. She stormed out with the dog trailing. Staff vented about blame-shifting furballs. 37. An auto enthusiast middle-aged man at AutoZone's parts counter described his car engine noise over the phone while in-store. He demanded a full diagnosis without showing the vehicle. When told impossible, he accused the clerk of planned sabotage. The clerk suggested a shop visit. Customers browsed quietly amused. He ranted about conspiracies. Management stepped in soothingly. He left without parts fuming. Employees mimicked the noise, later laughing. 38. A lipstick-obsessed young aunt at Sephora commandeered every employee for her perfect red shade hunt. She monopolized them for 55 minutes straight, ignoring other customers. Staff rotated wearily through swatches. Shoppers waited impatiently. She critiqued tones endlessly. Finally picked one triumphantly. Colleagues exhaled in relief. Customers grumbled about the takeover. The marathon try-on became break-room folklore. 39. A midnight gamer grandmother arrived at GameStop's launch at 11:59 p.m. for her pre-ordered title. She demanded frontline status despite the queue. When others protested, she faked a sudden medical emergency dramatically. Gamers rolled eyes skeptically. Staff checked her welfare politely. She recovered miraculously post-skip. The line booed her antics. Management served her last anyway. Witnesses shared the fake faint online. 40. A paranoid professional woman at Best Buy's Magnolia section recorded the TV wall mount installer entirely. He glanced sideways once innocently. She posted the clip claiming outright discrimination. Footage revealed nothing suspicious. Online viewers called her out swiftly. The installer shrugged, confused. Colleagues reviewed the tape laughing. Customers avoided her aisle. The baseless accusation backfired spectacularly. 41. A self-checkout pro middle-aged woman at Kroger loaded up 89 items in the self-service lane. She screamed at the attendant for not scanning fast enough, despite choosing solo mode. The attendant assisted patiently amid her rants. Shoppers in line groaned collectively. She slammed items down dramatically. Management hovered to prevent escalation. The woman finished huffing and puffing. Colleagues mocked her logic later. Customers shared eye rolls. The irony of demanding help in self-checkout left everyone in stitches. 42. A nostalgic young mom at Target's Bullseye's playground demanded they unlock the shuttered seasonal aisle. Her kid craved Halloween goodies in the dead of February. The employee explained inventory cycles gently. She pouted like a child herself. The toddler tugged her hand, whining. Staff offered alternatives from storage. She refused anything but spooky stuff. Management declined the request firmly. Even the mom stomped off dramatically. Shoppers chuckled at the off-season obsession. The kids settled for candy instead. 43. An ambitious old author uncle at Staples thrust his 500-page novel manuscript at the clerk. He demanded free photocopies because the store name evoked writing tools. To prove worth, he recited excerpts aloud theatrically. Customers paused browsing, amused. The clerk charged standard rates politely. He argued value passionately. Staff listened with hidden grins. Finally, he paid up grumbling. The uncle left with copies clutched. Colleagues reenacted his readings hilariously. 44. A ranch-loving teenage boy at Tractor Supply's feed aisle purchased heavy horse feed bags. He demanded the worker haul them to his car and pose as a cowboy for an Instagram reel. The worker refused the impersonation flatly. The boy yelled about customer service. Shoppers in boots smirked. Management backed the employee. The boy lugged bags alone, sulking. His family waited in the truck, laughing. The cowboy demand turned into store lore. 45. A finicky eater grandmother at Costco's food court nibbled her $1.50 hot dog daintily. She demanded a full refund because the mustard tasted off-key. She argued flavor profiles intensely. The cashier refunded kindly to end it. Customers in line snickered. She pocketed the cash smugly. Staff shrugged at the cheap complaint. Her family munched unbothered. The mustard meltdown amused the court crowd. 46. A lazy shopper aunt at Target's drive-up service parked in the pickup lane with her $8 paper towel order. She blocked traffic for 40 minutes, insisting an employee carry it out. Cars piled up, honking. Staff assisted eventually under duress. She tipped nothing haughtily. Drivers glared as she drove off. Management noted her plate. The family in her car looked bored. The lane blockade sparked policy changes. 47. A hurried professional woman at Publix's bakery requested a custom cake baked in just 12 minutes. She proclaimed her very important status loudly. The baker suggested pre-made options calmly. She tapped her watch impatiently. Customers browsed sweets, amused. The baker whipped up a quick design. She critiqued it endlessly, finally took it rushing out. Staff exhaled relieved. The VIP rush became break-time banter. 48. A gardening enthusiast old woman at Walmart's garden center eyed 12 bags of 50-pound mulch. Though fit as a fiddle, she demanded the employee load them into her compact sedan alone. When he struggled, she called her husband to berate him over speaker. The employee heaved bags carefully. Customers offered help, chuckling. The husband arrived yelling back. She supervised smugly. Staff wiped sweat exhausted. The mulch mayhem left tire marks. 49. A festive family matriarch at Macy's on New Year's Eve lingered past closing. She demanded the whole store remain open beyond midnight for her endless shopping spree. When doors locked, she dialed 911 claiming false imprisonment inside. Police arrived to her hysterics. Officers escorted her out, amused. The family waited outside, embarrassed. Staff popped champagne, relieved. Shoppers outside cheered the countdown. The hostage hoax capped the chaotic year hilariously. If these wild Karen tales had you laughing in disbelief, smash that like button and subscribe for more retail horror stories. Share your own encounters in the comments below. What's the craziest customer you've dealt with?